After a week, the weather has improved.
It seems though there's just a small bit around the front.
The spare parts have finally arrived from the UK, but with time running out for us, the engineers are spending every daylight hour preparing the hovercraft.
Well, what I need to do now is to look in the manual and actually check what deflection we should be getting there. Yeah.
Having failed to reach the Fly River via the swamps at Arley, there's only one option left: the dangerous route out into the estuary. These hovercraft must be in perfect condition.
Yeah, you can adjust on there, but that's always a set, factory set.
And the inside boat seems to...
Then out of the blue comes an emergency, a real test for the hovercraft.
We've just had a call from a porter about an hour and a half downriver that they've got a bloke there who's really sick with a death adder bite, and they have no anti-venom to be able to treat him. So we've got to get down there quickly to be able to treat him. There's stigmine and atropine and anti-venom. Death adder and black snake. Death adder, expiry date 6/95.
How likely is this to save his life?
If he's still alive when we get there, then we've got every chance of saving his life, because it'll work very effectively and very quickly. We've just got to keep it nice and cool for our trip down there. Right, we're ready. Don't go off, just go straight. Okay, when you hit the grass, lift up the front. Lift the front up. No, with your feet. Both feet when you come in and hit the grass. Lift the front up. Right, like this now, lift the front. Here, let's swap. I'll show you what I mean. Manappy. Okay. Front. So when you hit the big stuff, up with the front.
Are we going to get there in time, do you think?
Well, with death adder bites, you really don't know. It depends on how much of the actual venom that this man has been injected with by the death adder. And it depends on how big he is, so how diluted the toxin is in his system, and it depends on how strong his constitution is. Can't predict, because you can have as little as 20 minutes, 20 to 40 minutes with a death adder bite, or you can have several hours. Hey James, is that bloke in the sub-centre? Yes. Right, come on, let's go. Was it a death adder? Do we know? Okay. Magat salami. Melapila suami. Melapila suami. Tawa. Tau. Open his eyes.
Open the eye.
Okay. Right. So, what have you given him so far, sis? Okay, what we'll give him first is some neostigmine and atropine. Got a syringe. I can draw this up in. He's had a death adder bite. He's very weak, but he's still able to breathe, so he should live. Highly salvageable, I think would be the term you'd say. Right. We'll soon see whether this is going to work. Give him a bit of Kamali beggar. Now, is the drip running all right? Turn it on fast, let's hear. Good, it's going. Oh, okay, well there. That'll make you feel better soon. We'll actually put another needle in your other hand now too. Get a bigger one in. Right, you ready? Needle. Ta.
Okay, hook this up. We now have the death adder anti-venom mixed in this normal saline, and we plan on running it in over about half an hour. At the end of half an hour, you should see a marked difference in our patient.
Graham, how would he actually be feeling after he'd been bitten?
Very weak is actually the worst of the symptoms, a terrifying feeling of not being able to breathe. And so not being able to breathe, not being able to swallow, sort of the feeling of choking and suffocating. That's the worst part of it. I mean, he will also have had pain at the bite site and then in the glands in his groin and in his stomach. But that'll be nothing compared with the terror of feeling as if you're about to suffocate. There you go, feeling a bit stronger now. Ask him if he can swallow now. Yeah, you can move, hey? Open your eyes up. Look at me. Look up at me. Without the anti-venom, this man would almost certainly be dead. And without the Hovercraft, we wouldn't have got here in time anyway. So I reckon it's proved itself. Yeah, that's good. Bit more strength, eh? Kamali Bini Segata. Local emergencies are one thing, but we still must reach the Fly River.
Line of solid, impenetrable jungle.
So we've got left with one alternative, the mighty Barmoo, as you put it. It's a long way, and this is to a hovercraft, our hovercraft, open sea. What other dangers are there?
Well, seeing it's so much open water there, I mean, it's just going to be the difficult conditions with the wind blowing against these craft. Because if there's any mechanical failure and one of these things ends up in the water, you've got an immense flow of tide. Yeah. It really roars down through there, and especially after we've had that rain a week ago where it poured down, and it'll be just roaring out of there.
This is the real test for the hovercraft. It's a river rover and not designed for open water, so I don't know how it's going to cope. If we can make it through to the Fly, then the lives of thousands of people could be improved. And if we don't make it, well, I pray we don't break down, because this is crocodile country.
We've come over 100 miles. That's already 50 miles and many villages more than we've ever reached before. Sissi Army Village is our last chance for fuel. It's a mission station run by Father Ron Boleen.
Good to see you here. Sorry we didn't radio first, but we did on the spur of the moment. It's just beautiful.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You came this morning?
No, we camped around the other side of the island last night.
Okay.
And we decided to come and see you this morning. What we're trying to do from here is to go to the Fly. Now, can you tell us about the conditions we're going to expect from here, past your end of your island and down through the passage?
There are a few conditions. You have to meet the wind and also the tides.
Okay.
Tides are, at this time of the year, we're going towards full moon, so very strong tide. It can be dangerous if you meet the big tide. The tide can be up to 6 feet, 7 feet high.
Meet?
A wall of water to meet you. So a tidal bore. So you have to be careful when you meet it.
Okay. But not now.
No, you'll be okay.
Okay.
This
right.
time, that's why it's good to go about with the
Go now.
tides.
Are we going to meet other dangers such as crocodiles this time of year?
I hope you have no problem, mechanic problem, because there are some on the way.
How big are they?
They can be over 20 feet long.
20.
We have had people killed, eaten alive by crocodile. In this area, CCME and Sogiri, it can be very dangerous. If you stop on the way, don't go outside of the Hovercraft too far away.
Okay.
Just 30 miles to go to the fly. It'll be low tide there now, which is ideal for hovercraft. But before that is the riskiest stretch of the journey. Open water with big waves and dangerous tidal areas.
Different water, and it's flowing out, so I think it's a river as opposed to a it must be a tributary. It certainly isn't seawater, because it's a totally different colour and it's flowing out nice and clean. But it looks good.
Congratulations! Yay! This is it? This really is it? Brilliant! The fly river. Brilliant! It's only a little river then. Only little, look at it! It's huge! It's brilliant! We've achieved the aim, we've got to the Fly River.
We're on the mighty Fly. It's hard not to get emotive when you get at a time like this, because it's been so good to work here for all these years. You can't help but be changed when you work in a place like this. All of a sudden you're actually doing something that seems to be very significant and changing a whole lot of lives, and that's always good to be able to think that now we can extend the sort of service we've given to people close around Barlymore, even way out here onto the Fly River, and we can really look forward to seeing what the future will bring for these people. It's great.
Morning.
Hello. Which is your village? Seguero. Tabo village.